Hey there, it's Mermaid Phantom from themagiccrafter.com, and I'm in the middle of town right now, so I'm kind of whispering, but this in front of you is an abalone wind chime. And I'm going to show you how to make it in just a second, but before I do, I want to let you know the tutorial video portion of this video was filmed way back in the summer, so I didn't have quite the experience with video tutorials that I do now. So it's a bit clunky, and I kept mispronouncing abalone as abalone. So yeah, just thought I'd point that out. Sorry, I feel like a bad mermaid, but I'm a freshwater mermaid. We don't have abalone seashells up here, so sorry. Please forgive me. Anyways, please enjoy this video. It's going to be the first of many more home decor style videos to come, because I love home decor stuff and I want a house really, really bad. So please enjoy the video and happy magic crafting. Here's what you'll need. An abalone shell that is sturdy and has at least 5 holes. 3 metal pieces from an old wind chime. I just bought one at the supermarket and tore it apart. I think I got it for like $3. You'll also need some hemp cord. I'm going to be using white. You want some clear transit string, a pair of scissors, and your big old treasure chest of pearls and gems and other glass beads. To start out making your wind chime, first measure out about 2 feet of this transit string. Then go ahead and take one of your metal wind chime pieces and thread it through the transit string. Line up your 2 ends, pinch them together, and make sure that your metal piece hangs like this. Now tie a knot with both of the strings. Like that. Next, we're going to add beads onto the 2 pieces of transit string. Make sure that each bead slides over both strings. This is going to be nice and sturdy. But before you add any more beads, tie a few knots right down here, right above your chime. That way none of them slip over and butt up right to this metal piece, because that'll look a little silly. Now I'm going to go ahead and add some beads. Once you're satisfied with the length that your strand of beads is, we're going to attach it to the abalone shell. To do this, take your transit string and loop it through the first hole of your abalone. Now, take a bead that is bigger than the hole, and you're going to stick it on this side of the shell. So pull your string in, take these 2 strands, and string a bead through it, like that. Then take the 2 ends of the string and wind it back through the other end of your bead. Try to get the bead as close to the hole as possible. Pull tight. And now tie a few knots just so that the string doesn't slip back through, because you don't want your chime to come falling apart when you hang it. Once you have a few good knots tied, go ahead and cut that string. This is what it should look like after you tie that string off. There should be a little bead here, and it'll hang just like this. Now what you're going to do next is you're going to repeat that process of creating a strand of beads and a wind chime at the end for the 3rd hole and the 5th hole on your abalone shell. So get your wind chimes, get your transit strings, and start beading. I'll meet you back at the next step. Do you have 3 strands of pearls, gems, and metal wind chime pieces hanging from the 1st, 3rd, and 5th hole in your abalone shell? Excellent! You're ready to move on to the next step, which is adding some decorative strands to the 2nd and 4th hole in your abalone shell. Let's go! Go ahead and measure out about 2 feet of the transit string. Transit, I don't really know how to say it, to be honest. And cut that. Now take a really tiny pearl or some other tiny bead, or I guess really whatever size bead you would like, and place it on one of the ends of your transit string. Line the ends up and let the bead fall down to their middle. Once you have that bead down where it needs to be, take the 2 ends of your transit string and take some larger decorative bead. I'm going to use one of these fake big pearl things. I don't know what it is, but it's pretty. And string that big bead onto both ends of the transit string. And then continue to add beads how you think would look best. When you have your first decorative strand complete, take it and wind the 2 ends of the transit string through the 2nd hole on your abalone shell. Now hold up your shell, wind chime, and see how long it is that you want this to hang. I like my decorative strand to be a little bit longer than the strands of the wind chime pieces on it, so it's going to look a little bit like this. And I'm going to go back over to the other side of the shell here, and I think I'm going to take a gemstone and I'm going to use that to fasten the strand onto my abalone shell, like this. And then again, take it through the end of the bead a 2nd time. Make sure you pull it as tight as you want it to be, and tie a few knots. When you're finished attaching this piece, you can go on to create your last decorative piece, and then we'll move on to the final step of creating your abalone shell wind chime. Once you have added your last strand of decorative beads, there is one last step left before you're done with your abalone shell wind chime. Take about maybe 3 feet of hemp cord. You can do a little more, a little less, depending on how you want this to hang. I'm going to do about 3 feet and cut that. Now take one of the ends and wind it through the 1st hole on your abalone shell. And take the other end, lift up all of your decorative beads, put it underneath them, then wind that end through the 5th hole. So line up the ends of your hemp cord, make sure they're even, and now lift up your wind chime. Understand that it's going to hang kind of sideways, and of course you can hang it this way if you prefer. It's meant to hang this way, but either way works. And let it hang kind of naturally, and then tie a knot just a few inches above where it hangs. After you have that knot tied, create a loop like this and tie a knot right underneath your other knot here. And pull it like that. Now you have a loop right here And just for security, I'm going to take that loop and I'm going to tie it around all these loose ends right here. And now it's up to you. You can either cut these strings here or let them hang. I kind of like how they look when they hang, so I'm just going to leave them be. And then you are all done with your wind chime. And it makes a very pretty noise. Thanks everyone for watching this video. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and share it with any mermaid friends that you think would like this or enjoy it. And of course, fairy friends too, or any friends that you may have. Honestly, when I created this, at first I didn't know how it was going to go, but when I made my first abalone seashell wind chime, I was so in love with it that I just had to share it with you all. So, oh, I really enjoyed this tutorial, guys. Please let me know how you feel about it. And just, I would love to see your creations. Feel free to experiment with the colors, different lengths, different styles. If you want to flip your shell over this way and decorate the back some funky way, I think that could be cool too. Please feel free to share your photos with me on the Magic Crafter Facebook page, which will be linked in the description box, because I really would love to see what you guys come up with. Thanks again everybody for watching. Remember to live life magically and just have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day everyone, and have many more wonderful days.